My name is Thomas Pierce. I'm an actor from Hackensack, New Jersey, in the United States. I've been acting for about, I'll say since 2013 is when I started my professional career. 2015 is really when I quit my job. I used to work retail at Nike. I was selling sneakers, pushing shoes, and I told them that this is not my calling. I had bigger dreams and decided to fully dive into acting. So I started off in background work, New York City tri-state area circuit, and in 2018 I was given the opportunity to star in a feature film called The Nomads. It's on Amazon Prime in America. I don't know if it's overseas yet. Actually, it is overseas, in Ireland and the UK. So if you have Amazon Prime, go watch The Nomads. And it was an amazing opportunity. I grew a lot and I learned a lot from both sides of the camera. And that's what also, I would say, was the catalyst for me to really say, well, I can direct, I can write. I feel like as Black artists, we are we've been stifled for years, you know what I mean? So at this point, I just feel like we got to push for everything, put all the chips on the table and learn and grow. And even if you're going to fail in anything, but fail is something that you love to do. So I love film. I wake up every day and I'm just like, man, I get to do what I love every day. This is crazy, Yeah, so.
That's a great introduction. You said it best. You are good at it. You are good at it, bro. You are good at it. Yeah. First thing, what would you say is the hardest part about conception of an idea?
For me personally, my friends can attest to this, my close circle, I am the pitch guy. I can come up with a great idea. I think it's something that you can't stop thinking about. We have a bunch of ideas throughout our day, but then there's some ideas that really stick in our head, consistently, I just can't stop thinking. It's like when you're thinking of your significant other, or you're thinking of, food that you're like, oh, I can't wait to eat, like an idea that just is in your mind 24/7. So for me, I come up with a bunch of concepts, 2 feature films I'm writing, a series, and it's just like, man, I cannot stop thinking about this. I'll be talking, having conversations, talking to my mom, talking to, my girl, everybody else, and my production team, and then it's just in there, like a song, like one of your songs, you know what I'm saying? How you come up with a song, you're like, oh, this is it right here, But the challenging part for me is acting on that, coming from an idea in your head, conceptualized idea to a film or to a script, A lot of us don't, I wouldn't say a lot of us, some of us don't have the training to convert that, you know what I mean? From an idea and to be like, oh, I can make this a film, or I can make this a playwright, or, I can make this music. Some people let fear and the lack of education hold them back from furthering that idea when we're all learning. Even the best artists, I'm thinking not my Mount Rushmore, but a few of my directors, Quentin Tarantino, Spike Lee, Eric Dickerson, John Singleton, they didn't just have it, you know what I mean? It's like when you go play a sport, when you first start kicking a soccer ball, a football, you're across the pond. You ain't super nice off rip, you know what I'm saying? So, I think once people get over the fear of knowing you're going to fail and you're going to learn, but the best part is the journey of learning. Because once you have the blueprint, I don't know how to right now, I'm going through the issue of I don't know how to formally write a script. For me, the difficulty is getting it on paper. I've been bulking my ideas for quite some time, and I feel like I'm too nervous to just go and just try to write something. But then my friends are like, bro, most first drafts are trash, so just get it over with, rip the Band-Aid off, and just do it, You're going to learn, and then you're going to be like, oh, this isn't as hard as I thought. Oh, okay, well, I can continue to do this. And then take that one huge learning lesson of writing and, formatting and stuff and turn that into a whole bunch of scripts, and then you're unstoppable, And then you're like you, my boy, Ro. Can you tell people about you, bro? Can you tell people a little bit about yourself, bro? I need my family to know about you, bro.
Okay. Jerome Arab. I'm a creative director, basically, from Zimbabwe. I've been producing content, or been part of production from theater to song from the age of 6. I've been producing content from the age of 11, which is like writing poems, songs, theater productions, including short plays. Started doing feature-length plays at the age of 13. Not feature-length, but full-length plays. Done a few short films, scripted a few features, done a few TV shows, especially on the continent. I'm pretty popular for a lot of the TV work I've done. Was on a show called Big Brother Africa, was a finalist in that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Resume.
It's small.
It's small. Yeah.
It's growing. It's small.
Same here, man.
So let's talk, because now, like, I heard you mention, like, you guys are now, you've got a production team.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk through pre-production. You know, like, a lot of people don't understand what pre-production is made up of.
We're trying to well, okay, so for me, we're in the growing phase of learning about pre-production. So I guess production sounds like a difficult thing. It's the behind-the-scenes work before you get to actually shooting, which is when you first have a script, you break it down as far as, like, Thomas walks into a store. Boom, that's a location. You have to location scout for that location. He picks up a bag of Cheetos. Boom, that's a prop. You gotta have props department. You know what I'm saying? He's wearing a black coat and some all white Jordan 1s. That's also wardrobe department. You know, so it's breaking down. When you have a script, you break it down and you color coordinate usually, and you work with your team and see what department, like, what you need for all your departments. So usually after we have a script, we lock the scripts. We're doing that right now. We color-coded everything that we needed and just broke it down into certain departments. So some people in production teams do the location scouting. Like, that's their main thing, you know. They find where we need to film. Okay, we need a warehouse. That's what we're looking at now. We need a warehouse. It doesn't have that much lighting, so we're going to need lights. We're definitely going to need hair and makeup and a stunt coordinator and props. We need a prop gun, you know. So literally breaking all that down and then acting on it, delegating, which is like, hey, I need you to go call this, you know, I need to call this prop shop for a prop gun. I need you to talk to this stunt coordinator, see if we can get stunt people, especially now during COVID. Getting safety is a huge, you know, issue that we're trying to deal with and move forward with. So that has a lot to do with it as well. But it's just delegation, and I feel like we do it in our everyday lives. Okay, I have to do laundry. All right, let me go to the laundromat and wash clothes, you know? People think that production is just this vast, huge thing, like this monster that can't be beaten, and it can. You just got to break it down, that's all. And work as a team.
Yeah.
Tell me about your side, because I know you know a lot more about production than I do, so. Sensei, I'm ready to learn.
Yeah, no, you said it best. You know, it is about looking at the elements of what, once you have script, and script doesn't necessarily also mean, like, people think script is like words, you know. They think it's a bunch of words and characters, and sometimes script is simply, like when you're shooting an ad, there might be no words. It's just, as you said, location, prop, costume, you know, simple things. So once you know what the script is, production is basically looking at what is necessary, the necessary components to actually make that thing come to life. And that's all it is.
Yeah, I love that, though.
Is in its simplest form, it is, and that's the funny thing is you said delegation. Is team is essential in production. Production is not impossible as a single person, like it's not, but it's a lot harder when you have to do everything.
When you're wearing so many hats, for sure. My first short film that it should be coming out in the next month, actually. It's called Off Season. It's about a football player that goes through the politics of sports, you know. When you're an athlete, you're kind of like, sometimes, unless you're at the level of like Messi and Ronaldo, even if we we talked about, we didn't talk about this, but Lionel Messi, he wanted to leave Barcelona. He was so valuable to the club and to La Liga, they would not let him go anywhere. So you're like a pawn. You want to, even at the biggest level, you're still a pawn in the big system. You know what I mean? Which we all, at one way, shape, or form, tend to be just a piece of a system. You know what I mean? Whether it's a family system, a work system, but it's about, you know, the politics of sports. And yeah, it's coming out next month, and that was my first time actually directing. I would say for me as a director, I love to bounce ideas off people. You know what I mean? I don't want to be like what I say goes. I may make the final decision, but I love when other people give me options and we can be creative together, because I feel like that's how you truly grow, when you have like a perspective. I'm one spoke in the wheel of a production. I don't want to just see from my view. I want to be able to see all the spokes is what makes the wheel go round. Because if one spoke comes out, it falls apart, you know? So, long story short. Oh, and shout out my partner, Pia, my girlfriend, Pia. She's actually the one that she allowed me to direct on her now short-ish film. It's going to be about like, I feel like 30, 40 minutes. I'm still like, yeah, we don't have to talk. We're going to have to talk after this.
Nice.
Oh, man.
Nice. No, I got you. Yeah, you know I got you.
I appreciate you. Yeah, man.
Yeah, no, like the best directors, like you said it best, are the ones that actually look for perspective. Because you must remember, when you hire an actor, is you feel that they fit the character. And when you're acting, you're not acting, you're actually living that character.
Yes.
You understand? So if something's unnatural, they should be able to communicate it, and you have to be able to see and read in between those lines and connect the dots and help them understand the bigger picture. Because that's what you're doing, is you're the center point. You bring everything together. You take the pre-production and you take the production and you make sure that you pass it on so that in post they have all the essentials to tell the story. So you're just you're the middleman. You're kind of like the middleman with the connection.
But also, it's so powerful because as an actor, when I did my feature film, I felt like a spoke in the wheel. I also felt like I had power because as actors, you know, you work on your character, you build your character, and nobody can tell you anything else. And then the director tells you something else. And you're like, all right. And you have to find a way to navigate, you know, through that, stay true to your character, but also, you know, make the director's vision come to life, you know? So you're not going to always agree. So finding that common ground and communicating effectively where you both kind of win, you know, or you win the war, but sometimes there's battles that you're going to lose, and understanding that is how you make something beautiful, to be honest. As a producer and director now, I feel like I'm more in the driver's seat. Like, I know what I want. I know the vision that I have. I've done the research, and now for me, it's adding, like you said, I know actors are perfect for this. Like, I already in my head, I have a feature film. It's going to be super fire. We'll talk about that later. I can't, like, I can't say anything about it, but
I'm in the same box. I get you.
You know what I'm saying?
There's a lot I want to say, but I can't say it on,
Yeah, eventually. But, you know, having creative control and for me creating the story from my concepts, I know what I want already. I know the setting I want. I know the people I want. I know the outfits and the wardrobe I want. I know the props that I want. I'm the centerpiece. Now it's to develop the spokes. Find the best people that can do location scouting. Find the best wardrobe people for my budget. You know, find the best craft services, because I know the budget ain't gonna be what y'all think it's gonna be, but you know, craft is gonna be popping. I'm telling you. We're just adding, you know, like I have building that team around you that's like we're all gonna build each other up. And this movie isn't just my movie; it's our movie now. You know what I mean? Instead of saying I run the show and you just listen to me and da 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 da. That's not how. I feel like that's not how. It's not conducive to a productive and a progressive and creative environment that's going to create something beautiful, you know?
Yeah. Big. Yo, so we're moving on. Now we've kind of also started to touch on production. You know, what would you say is the hardest part about set? Like while you're producing the shows or the movies, whatever it is, while you're there, what's the hardest part about all of that?
The hardest part for me, okay, so as a producer and as a director and stuff, like, making sure everybody has what they need is probably one of the most challenging, I would say. I wouldn't say hard, because if you look at it like that, then you're going to be defeated. The first day I directed my short film, I was all in my head. I didn't know what I was doing. I was stressing. I was like the car is 5 minutes late. You know what I mean? We got to set. The location that we scouted was clear before, and then it wasn't clear, so we had to talk to them, you know. But what I learned from that day is if you just keep a cool head and trust, you know, that you did your due diligence, you know, like a lot of people say, oh, we'll fix it in post. Like, fix it in pre. I don't know if I can tell you enough. If you can fix it in pre, you don't have to worry about post. It's so important. It saves you time, it saves you energy, it saves you money and resources. Fix it in pre if you can, you know. But, yeah, as a producer, just making sure everybody has the tools that they need to be as successful as they possibly can would be the challenge part. As an actor, I would say the hardest part is staying in character when you want to be that guy. Like, I've been on set, and I've been on set with amazing actors. You know, Tika Sumter I acted across, and she can just jump in it, man. Like, some actors can't. Like, I'm one of those actors, if I have an emotional scene or something like that, I'm going to need some space or some time. I can't just hop back in it, you know? And I think everybody works differently, but she'll literally be having a conversation with me, and then just, how could you, like, I'm just like, man, girl, how you? She got that heat. She got that, man, she's an amazing actress. Tay Donovan as well. He's just, he's an amazing light on set. He's the guy right here. He's been in tons of stuff. He was just, what's his most recent thing? He was in Elton John movie. Yeah. He's the promoter or the manager or whatever for Elton John. But yeah, like I feel like they've been in the game so long, like 15, 20 plus years, and they know the ropes. For me, I don't have it like that, where I can just literally just like have a full conversation with somebody, really care about their conversation, because I try to have in-depth conversations with everybody. But also just jump into character. You know, I'm not there yet. I would love to be. Another person I would say, Jamie Foxx I met, and this guy has really heart-to-heart conversations with everyone he comes into contact. I don't know how he does it, but like, I should watch Mother, going to depth. Oh, what, you're from New Jersey? Oh, yeah, I used to go eat at spot Chili's over in New Jersey all the time when I was doing so-and-so film. And then jump right into character, and then jump out and have another conversation with somebody that's heartfelt, you know? He's just somebody that's just, he's a worldly energy, man. He's the aura, for real. Great actor. I love him.
Big.
Yeah.
Big. Nice. I get that vibe when you say making sure everyone's comfortable and got exactly what they need in order to function and to operate at their optimum level. It's, yeah, like that definitely is probably the most challenging thing on set. You know, the one thing that you did say that also makes sense is your temperament and your mindset. Like, you have to be calm. You have to be the calmest, like, in the building.
That's
in the place, but you got me. You got to be the calmest in the building.
First day on set was not that. I was like, and then if I'm that, and I'm the director, everybody's, it just trickles down. And they're like, if he's stressed out, then what the hell are we going to do? You know what I mean? So, I mean, I learned, like, keep a calm head. Sometimes productions can't shoot the whole day because it rained. I think 1917 is one day where it rained, like, out of, like, the 16-hour day that they had, it rained for 15 hours, and they had literally 2 30-second periods where they had the time. And then they just went balls to the wall and did a half an hour work, stopped, and then there was another, like, 20-minute period of rain, and then stopped again and did another half an hour, and then the rest of the day it rained, and they got whatever they could, you know? So it's not always going to go in your favor. You plan and you prepare as much as you possibly can, you know, enough pre-production work and you know, just make sure you can dot your T's and dot your I's and cross your T's so that you can be successful on the day. But, I mean, there's a lot of unexpected stuff that you're just going to come across that you can't change, you know? Like, you can't you're going to change the weather, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know,
and that's another thing is, I'm only saying this because I feel it adds on to exactly what you just said. Is you have to be flexible.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be flexible. In your head, you have to be prepared for the worst, and you're pushing for the best, but just be very flexible. Like if something goes wrong, it's not the end of the world. It's like, okay, how do we fix it? You have to be in the fix it zone constantly.
It can't be. You can't have a moment of what am I? Mm-mm.
No.
Because then by the time you do that, there's another thing that's messing.
Cool. As we go on to now we kind of wrapping up the whole production. I think people have got a good sense of a lot of the elements in making anything related to film right now.
Yeah.
But now let's look at post. What would you say is the most challenging thing about post?
There are variables in that as well. I mean, we finished. We had to do 2 extra reshoots because we didn't have enough footage in the interim for transitions and stuff. So getting enough what you have, they were like, oh, let's do some more for safety. Let's get another extra one for safety. Oh, I didn't understand that. And now I'm at the time where I'm trying to pull clips that I have in order to transition, shots, scenes and stuff like that. Finding a good editor that you trust is not going to bang. And in LA, there's tons of editors. So you can have an inquiry for an editor, and they're like, oh, yeah, $1,000 for this short film. And then you meet somebody that does better than them, and it's $200, $250. Don't even worry about it. You know what I mean? So navigating your way through finding, and that's how you find your, team of people and your resources, and also realizing that, all right, well, if he was great for this piece right here, and this is a short film, I can maybe use him on a feature film or something bigger. You know what I mean? Because I've seen his or her work or their works, and I know the quality of what they can do, and they didn't try to just kill me with the price automatically. They actually care about what they do, because a lot of people just do it for the money. If you're in the craft of acting or in the entertainment world or anything you do, if you do it for the money, you're going to be real empty, What fills my cup up is I'll do a play for free. Sorry, my watch is going off. Come on.
No.
I'll do a play for free if I really believe in the work. I'll do a short film, or, what I'm saying? I wouldn't say I would do a feature film, because I'm out of that phase now where I'll just do anything for free. But, with the exposure and working with certain directors, and you got to realize opportunities are things that are invaluable. Money is going to come and go. It's just how it is. But opportunities to make connections with people that can change your life, those are one of a kind, So, but post-production, that was probably our issue, would be editing. What else would be our issue? I mean, that was the hardest thing for us, I believe, editing, and then I left the other post-production section, the promotion, all the other stuff. They send me the template of what we should post and stuff. That's the easiest part, What would you say is the hardest to post? Because you've done multiple productions and stuff.
Post, I've found that a lot of the time is when you get to post, you realize all the work that was not done in pre. And that's the scary part. It's I've been on teams where they've called me in after they've tried to shoot stuff, and they're chopping up stuff, and then they're like, how do we fix this? And I'm like, whoa. I'm like, why are you bringing me in now? It's like, yeah, we've run out of money, but we need to fix this, and this is what we have. I'm like, okay. I mean, you get creative. From an editing perspective, from that point of view as an editor, you get very creative very quickly. Because you're like, okay, this needs to work.
It has no choice but to work. So let's do this however way, duct tape, crazy, whatever it needs to get it done. Let's do it.
Funny story is, you're talking about transition, and there was a point where we had shot some stuff, and it really wasn't it wasn't going on any level. So how I basically done it is I put the stuff through Photoshop, few of the scenes, few of the clips through Photoshop. converted all of them into frames, basically like pictures, still. Then I basically animated it, like turned everything into an animation, pulled out slides, and then had this like for all the transitions, like this, like it goes into like a cartoon kind of setup.
Yeah. Hey,
yeah, I mean,
that's exactly what we were talking about. Making it work. Oh, that's crazy. I want to see that. I want to see that. But you never know, like, you never know what you're made of, honestly, until you have to do those things. So you have to be like, all right, I have no choice. I'm against a rock and a hard place. I got to find my way out, you know? And you just, I think that also shows your resilience as a creative, you know? Some people are like, I can't do this. It's impossible, you know? And I'm like, I don't want to work with those people. You know, I want to work with those. It ain't going to be the best, but we'll get it done. Those are the people I want to work with. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Advice to any, like, filmmakers that are on the come up right now, or people that are interested in starting in film.
I had this conversation with myself. What would you tell your younger self when they were starting off in film? It's going to be challenging. You're going to fail. So fail smarter. Don't work harder. You know what I mean? When I first started, I don't think I would have been ready to take on directing or producing a film. It just didn't. I felt like I would be out of my depth because I'm, you know, almost 7 years in the game, and I'm still like, what am I doing? You know, going crazy. But, just realizing that nothing's going to go perfect. You know what I mean? Throughout the entire production, through production, and then post, you think that things are going to go smooth? You are mad. You're crazy. You think yeah, bro. I thought that for I think literally for like an hour, and then I was like, oh no, it's gonna be what it is, and you just gotta be able to, you know, audible improv, you know what I mean? And what else would I tell my younger self? Yeah, don't be afraid to fail. Make choices, make definitive choices when you're doing certain things. As an actor, when I first started, I would make these half choices because I was afraid to make the wrong choice. But the half choice is the wrong choice.
Yeah, that's worse. That's worse.
Exactly. It's worse than anything. Seeing somebody hesitate is like watching somebody like you know they're going to crash. So just crash and then deal with the rubber. You know what I mean? Stop trying to pull a plate. God, you know what I mean? Because, brother, it's going to happen regardless. You know what I'm saying? So half choices, I say, would be the death of any actor, to be honest, because, you know, I don't trust you. I don't believe you. You know, you have to go 100%, even if it's the wrong choice, which I don't really see as anything be 100% the wrong choice, depending on how you build your character and stuff. But like I see a lot. I'm audition rooms, or I'm you know, casting for stuff. I'm talking to people about future projects, and when you make the half choice, I'm like, I can't trust you. That sucks, you know. It sucks. So, but make full choices. Don't be afraid to fail. Nowadays, we have the internet, social media, YouTube. You can learn so much stuff. People say the internet is like a bad thing. There's so much to be aware of. You know what I mean? I think, honestly, it's an amazing tool that, I mean, I know people that make their living off YouTube and off Instagram. You know what I mean? And it pays their bills so they can continue to be creative. So they don't have a 9 to 5 or you have to work as a server or something like that. This is how they make their living, you know? So, I mean, YouTube, how to write a screenplay. YouTube, pre-production. There's a great YouTube called Studio Binder, and it shows you how short films are made from its inception of the idea until the end. And it goes through location scouting, it goes through props, you bring it to the producer chops your budget in half, it chops your scenes in half, you know? And I think it's a very, very valuable resource for people that are up and coming. And just and watch a lot of film. If you really want to do this, learn from others, you know? I mean, like I said, the people that are kind of like on my Mount Rushmore. I wouldn't call it Mount Rushmore. Spike Lee's one of my favorite directors ever. Just not for him as a person, but what he done for film and where he started at. You know, when he started, it was, you know, Dutch shots and tracking shots, you know what I mean? And some jazz in between, you know? But, like, I just felt it. It was raw. It was real. You know, Do the Right Thing I just saw 2 weeks ago, and it stands, you know, to now.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, when they killed Radio Raheem, I'm just like, oh my God. It's like, what has changed? You know, which is the frustrating part, but also like, film is such a beautiful medium where you can make people think and make people feel, and you know, awaken things to people's hearts and minds. You know what I mean? And really change how people perceive things. You know, I think seeing Black people on film, especially, we're working hard to change the narrative now and becoming more effective in just having Black stories that don't have to be a superhero or don't have to be a slave or don't have to be, you know, a butler. You know, regular life stories. Uncorked is one of my favorite movies because it's about a Black guy from the South that wants to be a sommelier, and his dad wants him to run the family business, like, you know, like a barbecue business. But his dreams of becoming a sommelier, you know, he deals with the challenges. You know what I mean? Do I go into a family business and sacrifice, you know, what I really truly love, or do I go after my passion? That's a Black story that you would not have in 5-10 years ago. You know what I mean? So I think we are pushing the needle forward, but we have to really, really take these risks and take these chances and really truly believe in what we're doing, not make half choices in what we're writing, what we're directing, you know? So, long and short of it.
Go in there full-heartedly, basically, man. Like, basically just jump in and live it. I think that's a great, that's a great thing to tell anybody that's going to do anything, you know? Like, if you're going to do it, don't kind of do it. Just do it.
Just do it.
Make it happen. Yeah.
Trust in the source, trust in your higher power, whoever you believe in. I moved out here with, like, no money. I finished the movie. So funny story, my best friend, Joe Westlake, he's a physical therapist. He was traveling physical therapist at the time. And when he first started his physical therapy journey, he said, hey, if I ever move to LA for a couple months, we got to make it a pact. You have to move. As soon as I find out and I call you, you have to pack your stuff up and move immediately. We shook on that. Fast forward, I was like I said, 4 years from 2018, I literally had just booked the movie to Nomads, and I get a call a week later. Yo, what's up? I'm like, yeah, what's going on? You know, we talk, every week or so. He's like, yo, what happened? I'm like, yeah, I know, I booked the film. Like, it's great. He's like, no, it happened. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, I got LA. And he's like, I hope you're ready to move. I'm like, I can't, man. I'm doing the film. He's like, no, that's fine. I'll be here for 3 months. So, what are you doing the film for, like, a month? I'm like, yeah, I finished like May 20th. He's like, all right, cool. You got 10 days to get your stuff and move out. Or, you know, I'm going to just think of you differently. And you know, when your best friend call you out, you're like, oh, nah, you ain't going to do that to me. You ain't going to pull that card, you feel me? So literally right after finishing, May 20th, we had the rap party. And then May 22nd is when I got back home. And all I did was I spent all my time packing, and it took me 10 days. June 2nd, I was on his couch in Los Angeles. And after that, he was only there for 2 months. I had to figure out the rest on my own, you know? So I lived in a hostel. I don't know if people know what hostel is, but, you know, it's a bunch of bunk beds in a small space, and anybody could basically rent a room. So I was in there for a while. I went on my soap opera mom's futon. I stayed there for a month till she got sick of me. And then my best friend Trey let me stay. Trey Summers, an amazing, amazing human being. He booked a room on a show for 2 months and let me stay in his Airbnb for 2 months. Didn't ask me for no money or nothing, just like, I'll pay for groceries here and there. And, like, that was, like, one of the best times that we got to grow and learn and grow, with each other. So, and then after that, and it was November, I was literally like, I'm done. I can't do it no more. I'm out. Like, I wasn't booking any roles. Trey he moved from New York to LA and booked stuff. I couldn't book anything. I'm like, Mom, I'm done. I'm finished. That same day, a job that I did 2 years ago was a Tums job. I was at like a big taco and stuff. It paid me for the stills. Paid me like almost $1,000 when I had like no money.
Nothing.
The day I decided to move is the day that the universe said, no, you are here for a reason, and we see that you want to do this. You're here with your full heart, like we talked about. And after that, I found a room, and I was in that room, and then now I'm in another room. I'm in a beautiful area, and I'm still here. It's been 2 years since everything that's been going on. And I have a great group around me. I went from just an actor to a writer, director, producer. You know what I mean? Like, you can spread your wings as far as you want to spread them. You can grow as big as you want to grow, but you have to believe it and you have to be willing to put in the work. And that's what it's about.
Big, family. Big. I mean, I know I made a promise that I was going to be out there this year, but COVID hit.
I mean, COVID is, you can't, come on now. You know
it messed me up. But, on the real, I'm still coming out there because that's my lifelong dream. Is I'm going to do some big blockbusters out there. I'm making my connection.
And
cut it up.
And I think that's how it's working out. Like, I'm building my squad, my team. I got a director. I got connections at Warner Media, at Sony. I've got editors. I've got my team, Bodega Productions. Shout out Bodega Productions, Manny and Rob and Dominique. Like, we literally was like, why are we going to wait for somebody to give us this opportunity? Let's create this. Let's learn, and we'll all learn how to do everything so we can be a one-stop shop, and we can do our own films and create and control our own narrative and where we want to go. And, I mean, so by the time you get here, I'm going to just, you literally just go, boop, this is my squad. You do what you want to do, brother. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, it's not even going to be like that, because by the time I get there, we'll know what we're coming out there for, you know?
Right.
We'll know what time it is.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I've got a link for you. I spoke to an actress yesterday. Her name's Tendai. She's from Zimbabwe. She's just done a Netflix show, Netflix movie called Coco. So you could actually, type in Coco and check it out. She's the lead actress in that. I've handed her your details. Told her that she'll be in touch. You guys also can start to cut it up. Absolutely. And as I said, like, it's just a little network that will grow, and soon enough, we'll be doing this, like, different.
We're doing this. Yes, sir. We're doing it now, which is the great part, you know? Thank you for having me. This has been an amazing conversation. I was so nervous about it, but I forget it's like talking to my brother, so it's a lot more natural than I thought. I was like, I don't even know how to work this IG Live thing. How do you...
I don't know how to get there. Yeah, trust me. I feel old school. I'll say this to people. I said, I make content for a living, but with regards to my life and trying to make content fit for my life, I'm struggling.
Yo, facts, big facts.
Wow. One love, family. Honestly speaking, hit me up about everything that's going on. I'll jump into it as if it's one of my own. I'll cut it up for you, send back my notes, and you send me back notes, and we just keep bouncing back and forth. There's another idea that I've got, and if the funding comes through, I'll try and get you guys to Africa, hopefully, for you guys to help with that one.
Whoa, I would love to. One of my close friends, his name is George Blamo. He just moved here 2 months ago, and he's from Ghana. He's like, bro, you have to come to Africa. Like, you've never been home. And I'm just like, man, that's...
Yeah, and the reason why I say Africa is the thing I'm writing is continental. So it's going to be shot in at least, I'd say, 9, maybe 10 to 15 different African countries.
Oh, that's beautiful. I would love to. I'm writing a film right now that me and George are working on, and it has we'll just say it has figurines that come to life from all parts of the African diaspora. So, yeah. Oh, we're gonna talk, brother. Absolutely. It's been a pleasure, man. Thank you for having me.